Imagine Godric's Hollow, Halloween 1981. The door explodes inward, Voldemort glides in, same skull-like face, same high-pitched hiss, but this time Lily's already chanting, James is diving for his wand, and the green light never leaves the Dark Lord's sleeve. One shimmering shield later, Voldemort's the one flat on the rug. Baby Harry snoozes on, no scar, no tragic backstory, no cupboard under the stairs. Sounds sweet, right? Stick around, because if Mum and Dad live, every page we memorize turns blank, and the rewrite's wilder than a rogue bludger. No Dursleys means no starvation, no locked bars, no freak sermons. Harry still charges into trouble, marauder blood, remember, but guilt isn't his shadow. He's the kid who'll share a butterbeer yet brag about the foam moustache. When Hagrid shows up with the giant "You're a wizard" reveal, Harry just rolls his eyes. Lily's had him reciting wand cause since he was 8. Ron still offers half a chocolate frog on the train, but Harry's fame feels ordinary, like wearing hand-me-down robes. Hermione, desperate to shine, realizes this Potter doesn't need her homework help. Friendship simmers slowly, leaving room for Ron to become the glue. Alive Lily equals unshackled Snape. No life debt, no always, no heroic pivot. He's still the dungeon bat, only now he sells secrets like cigarettes behind the bike shed, 2 galleons for Death Eater gossip, 3 for Order intel. When fake Moody bullies Neville's toad, Snape watches, arms folded, curiosity not concern. Voldemort never trusts him, the Order never likes him, and that suits Severus fine, neutrality pays better. The Hall of Prophecy still stores that dusty sphere, but after the Halloween humiliation Voldemort reads the fine print, born as the 7th month dies. Could be Neville, could be Harry, could be both. Paralysis by analysis. He delays, recruits quietly, and the Ministry keeps printing all clear headlines. Harry's first school years feel almost normal, Quidditch wins, detentions, the occasional pumpkin juice spill. No looming war, no nightmares, just homework. Quirrell still sports the ridiculous turban, but James recognizes the stench of dark magic during a routine parent-teacher evening. One whisper to Dumbledore and the possessed professor is hauled away before Christmas. No underground gauntlet, no mirror of Erist heroics. Hermione never brews illegal potions in a toilet stall, Ron never sacrifices himself on a life-size chessboard. The trio stay classmates, not war buddies. Second-year Basilisk still slithers, but without a scarred nemesis the diary picks on the lonely kids, Colin, nearly headless Nick, Ginny. Early petrification raises alarms, Dumbledore clocks the Horcrux concept years ahead of schedule. Harry, hunting a sandwich, stumbles on the pipe entrance, yells for backup, and Mum shows up with Ministry specialists. They gas the snake, bag the fang, and Tom's teen diary becomes a burnt marshmallow. Peter never gets to fake his own death, Sirius never sees the inside of Azkaban. Within weeks of the Potter's survival the rat is caught, the trial lasts one afternoon, and Sirius brings Harry a firebolt for Christmas, no permission slip drama. Remus teaches defense, resigns politely after the full moon news leaks, and leaves with gift baskets, not shame. No scar, no champion, simple as that. Cedric represents Hogwarts fair and square. Barty Jr. still rigs the goblet, but he tags Cedric, assuming the Hufflepuff must be the prophecy kid. Graveyard scene replays, Cedric dies, Voldemort reblooms. Harry, watching from the stands, tastes real grief for the first time. The Ministry calls it trauma-induced hallucination, and doubt creeps in. Umbridge arrives with her pastel cardigans and blood quills. Harry, insulted more than terrified, forms a study club out of sheer irritation. They call themselves Lupin's Lions, cram spells after curfew, and even Draco sneaks in, he wants the Patronus bragging rights. When they break into the Department of Mysteries they shatter a random sphere. Inside, images of both Harry and Neville swirl, muddling the prophecy even more. Dumbledore, cursed ring on his withered hand, begs Snape for a merciful killing. Severus laughs, actually laughs, and walks off. No tower showdown, no dramatic fall. The headmaster dies quietly in the infirmary, McGonagall inherits the office, and students transfer to Beauxbatons in droves. Voldemort finally steps into the spotlight, tired of shadows. Harry isn't public enemy number 1, so he spends 7th year cramming for NEWTS while the adults hunt Horcruxes. Grimmauld Place stays cozy, Sirius complains about laundry. Creature hands over the locket with a grateful bow, and Basilisk venom, kept in Ministry storage, does the melting. The Elder Wand myth pops up, but without a scarred seeker it latches onto whoever wins the latest duel. Current holder? Voldemort, thanks to Snape's deliberate loss. The school still becomes the last stand, Voldemort once found a relics. James leads Forest Guerrillas, Lily runs triage in the Great Hall. Snape, cornered, duels Voldemort, throws the fight, and shouts, "Now," as he drops. The Elder Wand rockets from Voldemort's grip, lands at Harry's feet. No ownership loophole, Harry simply grabs it, fires, and the rebound blasts Nagini to bits along with the final Horcrux. Tom Riddle dies mortal, screaming, afraid. War ends faster, funerals are fewer, yet stories feel murkier. Without martyred parents, Harry never becomes a lightning rod symbol. The Ministry snaps back to red tape normality overnight. Snape's portrait doesn't appear, students remember the greasy double agent who sold to both teams. Lily writes a memoir titled 7 Years That Didn't Happen. James co-hosts Defensive Spellwork FM. Ron and Hermione still tie the knot. She proofreads his reports, he makes her snort laugh, but Harry's best man speech is cocky, not humble. And when tiny Potter kids ask why Dad's forehead's blank, he grins, Mum and Dad blocked the curse before it could write on me. If this upside-down timeline scrambled your sorting hat brain, hit subscribe and tell me, what scene from the original books would you keep untouched? Neville, prophecy runner-up, becomes the reluctant poster boy, kills Nagini, hates cameras, retreats to greenhouse bliss. Luna turns magical zoologist, credits the Quibbler war scoops. Draco, Patronus charmed out of bigotry, funds scholarships to salvage the Malfoy name. Ginny captains the Holyhead Harpies, never dates the boy who didn't need saving. Fred survives, left early to run the joke shop with George, yet Percy still barges in at the end, spreadsheets flying, apology ready. Craving more multiverse mayhem, say, Hermione finding the Hallows first? Ring the bell so the algorithm actually shows you the next story. Rescue the Potters and you trade martyrdom for messy ambiguity. Harry gets parents, loses the humility carved by neglect. Snape keeps his soul, never climbs out of his own bitterness. Victory costs less ink, yet legends fade faster. Sometimes the stories we clutch need cracked foundations to build heroes worth cheering for. So yes, James and Lily could have walked out of Godric's Hollow alive, and the sky wouldn't fall. But every star we recognize, Lightning Scar, Snape's tears, Dumbledore's last twinkle, would rearrange into new, unfamiliar constellations. A happier childhood for Harry, a darker tightrope for Snape, a prophecy scrawled in normal ink rather than blazing lightning. If that story sparks your curiosity, let me know. Would you still read 7 books about a boy who never needed to be the boy who lived? Me? I'd turn the page before you could say, mischief managed.